and good evening, and welcome to Edinburgh. We're at the southern tip of Texas to bring you exciting USL Championship soccer. The Copa Tejas is in the house. Tonight's game will feature the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros against their interstate rival, San Antonio FC. And how do you do? I'm Mark May with Brian Smith, coming to you from beautiful HEB Park. Both teams looking to drive their way to a victory here tonight. And this broadcast coming to you on ESPN Plus. Brian, let's get started. What are our keys to the game tonight?
Taking a look at the visiting team, San Antonio FC. They are a team that loves to attack. So the key is going to be just that. How quickly can they attack? They're a team that scores quick. They score often, going up by at least 2 goals in each of their first 2 matches. And that allows them to really kind of set the tone for the rest of the match once they're up big. Can they do that now against an RGVFC team that loves to really settle down in their defense and lock down your leading scorers?
Past history would suggest they can. The last 3 meetings, all victories by San Antonio, they've scored 8 goals.
And then looking at your home team, the RGV Toros, it's going to be about that strong defense. Coach Cabrera says that he doesn't really think of this team as being defensively minded, so to speak, but what they are good is at taking your highest scorer away and playing a style of play that fits to their skills, which really is ball control and possession. So can they do that here? Can they keep San Antonio FC from getting those long lead passes, from finding those deep passing lanes, and control that pace of play? If they do so, guys like Tyler Derrick could have a really big night.
Yeah, Tyler Derrick coming in with 2 shutouts, 180 shutout minutes and counting coming in tonight. He's been a big reason why RGV is unbeaten at this point.
And it's for that very reason that he is your Puma player to watch for the Toros. 2 clean sheets to start the season, and he is an experienced keeper, something Coach Cabrera really appreciated. He said he's finding his place here. He loves his time in the Rio Grande Valley, and Derrick is showing it, just playing spectacular in net. And then looking at the opposition on the other side, San Antonio FC, their player to watch is going to be that forward, Santiago Patino. Patino has been nothing short of spectacular to open the season, had a hat trick in his team's opener. Last game out, wasn't the strongest player on the pitch as far as scoring was concerned, but there's a reason for that. They were marking him like crazy, but as a good forward does, he distributed, he fed his teammates and allowed his teammates to put in 2 goals, I would say in large part due to the fact that he was getting the focus of that defensive pressure.
Yeah, it was the USL Player of the Week 2 weeks ago with that hat trick as we head to starting lineups.
So starting with the home team, the RGV Toros, starting in goal, Tyler Derrick. And then on defense, Adrian Despay, Eric Pimentel, Grant Robinson, and Carter Manley. In the midfield, James Murphy, Juan Cuzain, Rodrigo Lopez, and John Henry Sanchez, And then the forward in this one will be Elvis Amo. And Amo has been showing some really strong minutes for the Toros. Flipping over to the other side, here is the starting lineup for San Antonio FC. In goal, Matthew Cardoni. On defense, Liam Doyle, Slam Gleedle, Joaquin Varela, Jaser Kamiri, Cameron Lindley, Marcus Epps. The midfielders, Shandon Hopidow, Chris Lima, and Emil Cuello. The forward for San Antonio FC is going to be the aforementioned Santiago Patino.
And both teams using a 4-3-3-3 lineup tonight for the first time this season for both. So let's take a break. We'll be back with our opening kickoff between the Toros and San Antonio FC in just a moment. You're watching the USL Championship on ESPN+.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow,
creating more jobs
and more opportunities for all of us.
working together.
Together,
we do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
When we said Reliant offers free flex days, we had something a little different in mind. Get the flexibility of free electricity on your 2 highest use days every week. with the Reliant Truly Free Flex Days plan. That's up to 8 free days a month. So go on, what are you waiting for? We'll even upgrade your plan to solar. On us. Reliant. That's power. Your way.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. We got 3 chicken strips topped with Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese. The combination is just right.
It's crunchy and then it's spicy and then it's cool. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
It just all works together and then you add the cheese in there.
It kind of wakes me up, honestly.
My goodness.
I can see myself getting this every time I come here.
They're gonna go crazy for this thing. The Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. That's back, and it's only for a limited time.
Welcome back to HEB Park. Just a few seconds from kickoff here. And Brian, how about our DHR Health injury report?
Taking a look over at San Antonio FC, they're going to be without 4 players in this one. They won't have midfielder PC. They'll also be without defenseman Connor Maloney. And they're missing 2 forwards, Axel Schuberg and Justin Dillon. For the Toros, they are also going to be without a pair of players. Midfielder Juan David Cabezas and midfielder Juan Carlos Azocar are both out in this one.
Azocar's missed the 2 previous matches also, but Cabezas will be missing his first match. So he started on the back line in both of them. We'll see how the back line holds up tonight for the Toros. And we're just underway here at HEB Park. Toros controlling. They're in the blue-white with the orange numbers. And San Antonio FC will counter in the predominantly white with the gray and black.
We talked in pregame about what kind of conflicting styles we're going to see here. San Antonio FC will press, while the Toros are perfectly fine with settling for some possession and ball control, picking the defense apart with some tactical moves here.
And here's Elvis Amo with a chance here, kind of a half chance that was deflected out. It'll be a corner kick already for the Toros. So the Toros going right for the jugular here early.
I like what you see defensively there from San Antonio FC. Kamiri did a really nice job, Tunisian national, of not trying to drive into that ball too hard. He stayed back, and as the kick came in, nice job of that sliding tackle to push it out, saving his keeper, Matt Cardoni, from a really tough angle.
Both goalkeepers have had very good games coming into tonight. Here's the corner for the Toros, a little bit long here, and it's going to be headed out by San Antonio.
That's a good look at what San Antonio loves to do there. Sam Glito coming out and immediately putting a head on it and trying to drive back the other direction. Their head coach in the conference this week, one of the things he talked about is they're a team that loves to attack, and he said, we get everything we earn, and we earn everything we get. So they're not afraid to go right after it.
I like it. And there you see San Antonio there quickly pushing it forward. Toros forced to play it out, and San Antonio will have it. And what was it you were sharing with me about the 10-foot passes?
Yeah, so they talked about how this is not a team that's going to want to pass the ball 10 feet back and forth across the middle, trying to stretch defenses. They'd rather go north to south, long, and they would much rather have a long pass go a little bit too long and go out than to play this back and forth 10-foot passing. It's an interesting style of play. It'll be something that'll be tough for the Toros to counter if they're not on it very tough. They've got to stay right on top of that ball and not allow anything to get over the top of them.
Kind of like teams that like to run the fast break all game long. You're going to see that from San Antonio here tonight. And they're a team that can put up some numbers. 3 goals in their first game, 2 goals in their second game, which was they had a 2-0 lead in that game against the Real Monarchs, SLC. But then they had a red card on one player, Nathan, who is from Brazil, and he ended up with the red card. In fact, and they Monarchs came back and tied it at 2. And in fact, Nathan not in the lineup tonight with that red card suspension.
And Coach Marcina said they're a team that's not going to make excuses for what happens out there on the pitch. They're going to go right after you. They're going to get quick goals.
Kuzain with a shot and a save by Cardone, who came out off his line. And Kuzain, the Malaysian, able to buy himself some space there, moving laterally across the face of goal. And Cardone with a good job to close the angle and block the shot. But the Toros with a couple of good chances here in the opening 3 minutes. There's San Antonio with possession, and again you see a long pass downfield. Derek, the Toros keeper, will come out to play that one. Probably not quite what he wanted. That didn't even make it to midfield. And San Antonio immediately back with possession, and Derek had to hustle back to his goal. That goes out, and Looks like it'll be a goal kick for the Toros.
Well, as far as the Toros have been up to the task, we're just shy of 4 minutes into this one, and you're seeing they're doing a really nice job of marking the midfielders and the forwards here for San Antonio, staying right on that hip, not allowing anybody to get a whole lot of space, and that's what you've got to do. You cannot allow a team that loves to run this fast pace to get out ahead of you, because they get too far out ahead of you and you just won't catch up from behind.
Now, I guess something for the Toros to be a little bit concerned about is their offense has kind of been slow to get started in the first 2 games, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've been real kind of tactical, moving back and forth, and that's what you typically would see with a possession-based offense. But here with the Toros, they're getting shots, but they're not necessarily getting the kind of shots you would necessarily want. Not a lot of goals. Both of their goals coming in the second half, and to be honest, in the second half of the second half, as they're just kind of building and picking at that opposing defense. And they're going to face a San Antonio team here that if you pick too much, you may find yourself down a couple of goals very quickly.
Right now, Toros content to pass it along their back line. They got 3 on the back at the moment, though they opened with a 4-man back. And controlling here is Rodrigo Lopez. Lopez will send it off to the right side. Right back Robinson will send it ahead to number 2, Carter Manley. Knocked away from him, and the Toros will have the throw-in. Yeah, the Toros 2 wins, no losses. Both their wins coming here at HEB Park. So after tonight, they go on the road for the next 3 matches. So it's important for them to pick up points here tonight.
It's been a great homestand to open the season for the Toros, and what a great way to welcome Coach Beretta back to this organization. He comes in after a couple of years in Houston, comes down here to the Valley again, where he started with this program back in 2016, and he has really reinvigorated and bred some life into this program.
That was in fact, he's the only coach that's taken them to the playoffs. They went to the playoffs that inaugural season and haven't been back. Looking to do something like that this year, make some noise. And they're currently not only in first place in the Mountain Division with San Antonio in second place, but these 2 teams both ranked in the top 10 in the USL Power Rankings. San Antonio FC came in ranked number 6 tonight, and the Toros come in ranked at number 8. So 2 of the USL's best going head-to-head here tonight. There's Manley with the throw-in for the Toros. Goes into Amo. Amo had his pocket pick, but there is a whistle. This is going to be a foul, looks like, against Amo. And it's the new signee for San Antonio FC who was shaken up a little bit. That was Varela, 24-year-old defender from Argentina. Played professionally for 2 or 3 Argentine clubs.
He's been a great addition to this program. Prior to coming here to play for San Antonio, he was at San Martin. He also spent some time in the Argentinian First Division with the Newell Good Boys. Just 24 years old, but think about this. He's already had 36 professional appearances to this point and made a senior debut with the Old Boys back in 2017. So at the age of 22, he was already playing at the senior level.
You know, some folks probably wondering why is there a team named after somebody named Newell from Argentina, but it was named after an Englishman who about the turn of the 20th century taught some players, Argentinians, how to play the game of soccer, the sport that he loved from his native England. And they named the team after him, and it's still a team that's active in the Primera Division in Argentina today, Newell's Old Boys.
And one of the more feared teams in that division as well. Storied history there.
I think Maradona played for them briefly during his career.
I believe you're correct.
Among other teams. So yeah, well-known team. As we see, look at Kuzain there. Kuzain is a Malaysian native, comes from Illinois. And this is going to be a free kick here for San Antonio FC. Looks like Cam Lindley, the midfielder from North Carolina, will take this kick. This is the first of 4 meetings between these 2 teams. Both Mountain Division rivals. And San Antonio also unbeaten. 1 win, 1 draw coming into tonight. Oh, that's headed on goal, and Derek had to go way up to try to slap that one out.
That's a spectacular job by Derek. That's where you see that senior level keeper really starting to build out. He saw that attack developing, got into a good spot, and then used that sheer athleticism and every ounce of that frame to get up there and punch that one away.
I think there may have been a foul on the San Antonio, as it was actually a free kick there by Derek. But nevertheless, a nice effort by him. So Toros with possession again. We're in the 9th minute. No score as yet. There's Amo trying to get the turn. Unable to do that. And we're going to have a free kick now in a good position here for the Toros.
That worked out about as good for the Toros as you could expect. That San Antonio defense was really starting to bear down as you see the official having a quick conversation there with the midfielder.
Lopez put it in play, but Manley sent it to the back line. And now they're going to play it forward. Manley is running forward, but it's headed out of the area by Liam Doyle.
And Doyle was the one called for that foul against Amo just a few moments ago.
And now here is a shot toward the net, and that's a player making his first start for the Toros, John Henry Sanchez, midfielder from Colombia. Easy save for Cardone.
That's a really good sign for the Toros as well. When you've got a midfielder like Sanchez that's able to play that far forward and apply some pressure, especially that back line of San Antonio, that's going to reap some real good rewards as this game continues.
Sanchez from Tumaco, Colombia. Playing his first game for the Toros here tonight. San Antonio heads that back up to midfield, but the Toros getting possession again. And again, they are on the attack. They've got 5 moving forward against 5 defenders. And Sanchez has it knocked away from him. It's going to be a free kick here for San Antonio.
That's Doyle again getting in there and mixing it up. I'm really excited what we're seeing from Doyle here, the 6'4" defenseman. Played his college ball at Ohio State. He's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. You've seen it last 2 possessions down. He's been kind of that key cog to this defense for San Antonio, getting in there and taking that one right off the feet of Sanchez.
They know a little something about defense at Ohio State, don't they?
That's what I hear.
So Cardone take this free kick. Cardone, by the way, from Trinity University here in Texas. Trying to get a shot there is the man we talked about in the pregame, Patiño. Couldn't quite get the turn, put a little too much mustard on it, goes way over the bar.
It looked like that one kind of rode up on his foot just a little bit. Perhaps it had some of that backspin English on it, because as he put a nice heavy swing on it, it just kind of floated.
We saw Patiño wearing the captain's armband here tonight. Had that hat trick in the season opener, and as you pointed out, Brian, even though he did not find the goal, he was still able to make himself very useful and dangerous against the Monarchs last week.
And that's just a sign of a really good teammate. When you've got somebody that can score in such quick succession, as you saw there with Patiño, and you can come out the next game and know that you're probably going to be marked and marked heavily, but still allow yourself to be a major factor, setting up your teammates, spreading the ball out. Got to get the players on your side playing for you. You're all playing together, playing as a team, and that always reaps major, major benefits.
Shows a lot about his maturity too, because some players, you'll see them pout when they're not finding the goal, or they'll continue to try to force it when it's not really there, and thus hurt the team.
That's a great point. You see a lot of guys sometimes that will try to fight through, double team, triple team, somebody's marking them, they'll get aggressive, just trying to clear some space. Not the case with Patiño. Really smart, cerebral player, does a nice job of just moving the ball away and feeding somebody else who was open.
Yeah, I think of kind of Ruud van Nistelrooy 15 years ago. Great goal scorer, great finisher, but when he wasn't playing well, he didn't help his teammates. He was just, kind of brooding. But you're not seeing that from Patiño, as here's a long pass here by San Antonio will go out of play, and the Toros will have it back.
And true to form, you're seeing it from San Antonio right here. Anytime that they've got a lane, they're going to pass to it. They are looking to go deep early, often, and quickly.
We mentioned at the beginning, both teams came out in a 4-3-3 formation tonight. The Toros opened the season with a 4-1-4-1, then a 4-4-2 last week. And they won both games, but as something you were telling me, Bryant, Coach Cabrera is still trying to get a hold of this team, a sense of this team right now, isn't he?
Yeah, this week he was talking about how there's a couple of key players he'd like to have on this roster that just haven't really quite made themselves available just yet. They're trying to work through some roster changes. But as they continue to do so, he's got to kind of firm up what that lineup's going to look like, and he's making some changes in playing. We talked in prior broadcasts about the type of player Wilmer Cabrera wants to bring into this Toros organization. It's players that can play multiple positions, players that are experienced, players that know how to win and know how to win in a variety of areas. And that gives them the ability to make some adjustments like this, try different lineups, some different schematics. And when you're able to do that and you have that experienced player, you have the ability to win on just about any pitch because you can make the necessary adjustments.
We saw a shot attempt by PC from Brazil, but an easy save there for Derek in the Toros net. It was a nice feed by the midfielder Emil Cuello to get to PC for that shot. And, you know, I guess the best example in what you're talking about, Brian, for the Toros is Vicente Sanchez.
Yeah, what an experienced player. He's 41 years old. He doesn't start for the Toros, or at least he has it in the first 2 matches. But he comes in with about 18 to 20 minutes left and doesn't look like he's 41. He's out there scrapping it up, and he's got that just really kind of next-level experience. You saw that in their match against the San Diego Loyal. He came out, got himself in a good position, and got the game-winning goal because he knew what was happening, and he used that really, really advanced experience to put his team in a position to win.
Yeah, had some really good creative chances as well in New Mexico United in the opener, and then, as you said last week, against San Diego Loyal, both which were Toros victories.
Arguably one of the best headers you're going to see all season to win that game against the San Diego Loyal. We talked about on the broadcast, worth mentioning again though, it looked like he saw that goal coming a good 45 seconds before anybody else on the pitch knew what was happening. He raced down, got into position, dropped to one knee, drove with his head. It was a thing of beauty.
The Toros will play this into space. That's Amo fighting for it. It's kicked out of bounds by Jasser Kamiri, the defender from Tunisia. Toros will have a throw in here. It's going to be Robinson to throw that in. And then Manley loses it out of play, so it'll be a goal kick. Or no, there's going to be a corner kick here for the Toros. It's kicked away from him, so this will be the second corner now for the Toros here coming in the 16th minute.
Looks like that corner is going to be taken by Rodrigo Lopez. Lopez has played some strong minutes for the Toros here, just 5'7". He plays a lot taller than that, though, in the midfield. Really crafty midfielder.
Little in-swinger here. Takes a bounce in the box, but a bicycle kick to clear it by Patiño. The Toros will have to set up near midfield. Yeah, Lopez, he made the USL's Team of the Week for Week 3 for the bench players.
In fact, 4 players on the pitch today made that USL Team of the Week. Of course, we talked about earlier the keeper for the Toros, Tyler Derrick. Derrick with 2 clean sheets made that starting group, as well as San Antonio's Marcus Epps. Epps had a goal in their prior match, a really nice goal, actually, a nice crossing pattern. He was able to put kind of a sideways wheel kick, place that in the back of the net. And you talked about Lopez making the bench team for the USL Team of the Week, as did Emil Cuello for San Antonio. Plenty of experienced and talented players on the pitch here.
That ball headed up in the air by Diaz-Pay, but controlled by San Antonio. A chance here. This is Epps with it. Had a goal last week. He's going to chip this toward the net. Derrick is there and makes the save. Now he's knocked into his own net, but I think they're going to call a foul here. That's Patiño who was challenging, and Derrick looks like he's shaken up a bit as well.
It looked like he got kind of hip checked in the air, came down really hard. They sent Patiño to the side so they can check on Derrick and have a moment to discuss with the other officials what they saw here.
And the official having a word with Patiño right now. I don't see him reaching into his pocket just yet, but telling him, you know, use your head, you got to think. And referees will always protect those keepers in those kinds of plays, won't they?
Yeah, because the keeper's not focused on what's going on around him. He's focused on that ball and pulling it in. And you saw Derrick was there first, got his hands up, really good job of catching that. And Patiño comes in from behind and kind of drives right into his back and his hip. Patiño says, "What? I mean, I didn't do anything on purpose." Incidental contact, but you've got to protect those keepers.
When players put up their hands, that always means they're guilty, doesn't it? You don't see innocent guys doing that. And you may have saw Derrick when he fell down, the ball appeared to go over the line, which could be a goal under other circumstances, but because he was fouled, obviously no goal there. So we're getting another free kick here as Juan Kuzain and Lindley were kind of
wrapped up with each other there for just a moment as that pass came in.
Zane, a young player, starting his third match here for the Toros. Has spent most of his career in the Sporting Kansas City organization. He's played for both the MLS club and Sporting Kansas City 2 in the USL.
And talking with Coach Marcina for San Antonio this year, he said one of the things that was going to be interesting for him coming into this one is seeing the real experienced team in the Toros as far as guys that have played a lot of top-tier soccer internationally against a team like his, who is traditionally quite young. They're kind of building from a real baseline that is just slightly above an academy level. He's getting a lot of really young guys that have a lot of talent and then moving them into USL and getting them the experience they need to be successful. So he said it could be really interesting to see what occurs here. Youth versus experience, that young vigor birth against that really just kind of methodical talent that you see from the Toros.
Toros, one of the older teams in this league, aren't they?
They are. And then Coach Cabrera said that's by design. He wanted to bring in guys that knew how to win, who knew how to win at a high level, and guys that could play multiple positions. And you're not going to get that necessarily with a lot of really young guys. But it's interesting to note they've got some real nice youth mixed in there. Amo, you've got Boubacar Jay, who's come in and put some good minutes, Kuzain. So there's some youth in there that you can kind of mix in with that experience to find that middle ground.
Zane, I believe, just 21 years old. There we see Lindley, the defender for San Antonio, shaken up a bit. Had the trainer come out to check on him. It looks like he'll come all the way off the pitch. We'll see if they replace him or not. I would think not. Doesn't appear to be hurt that seriously.
Have him hang out there on the line for just a second, and then he can re-enter once play resumes.
Yeah, Kuzain 22, actually. I think I said 21. And of course, having a 41-year-old Vicente Sanchez, which is highly unusual, that kind of kicks up the average artificially. So not quite as old as the numbers might suggest.
But a lot of international experience here. And that's just a great aspect of what makes the USL such a wonderful league, is you've got guys that are native born, played soccer collegiately here in the United States. You've got a lot of guys that have had some real strong experience playing internationally. Once again, you're seeing San Antonio not afraid to drive that ball long. If they've got a passing lane, they're going to take it.
It's Derek again. He's been active in his box in this game, as has Cardone in the San Antonio box. Nearly halfway through the first half. Toros have had the better of the opportunities so far. This is going to be San Antonio's throw in.
Good look at Sam Galito there. It's going to make the throw in for San Antonio. Haven't said his name a lot, but he's been covering a lot of space on the pitch for San Antonio here in the early going.
Yeah, he's played in both of their first two games, a win and a draw against one of the USL's top teams, the Monarchs. And now we get another free kick. It's going to be awarded to San Antonio.
Lema doing a nice job of getting in there and being aggressive to keep that possession going. To your point earlier, Mark, a lot of players logged some serious minutes for San Antonio here in the first couple of games. In fact, PC's gone the full distance, 180 minutes, as has Lindley, Patino, DePayne, Epps, Glito, and Kamiri have all played the full 180 through 2 games. So they've certainly found a couple of guys that they've got some real strong faith in. They're going to let them stay out there on the pitch and plug the minutes away.
We saw the replay, Rodrigo Lopez committing the kind of a hard foul there. I think San Antonio arguing for perhaps a caution as we see a free kick taken by Kamiri. It's going to go wide of the Toros net. It's the third shot by San Antonio. They have one that was on goal so far. That was the shot by PC a little earlier on. Went straight to Derek. Toros bringing it out from the back here. This is James Murphy. Murphy's going to send it long. He's got some numbers downfield. Gouzain trying to get on it. It'll go to Sanchez now on the right wing. Sanchez being pressed by Epps. Sanchez dancing his way through San Antonio players. San Antonio trying to get possession here. Oh, nice little tackle there by Robinson. Great sliding tackle, and that'll allow the Toros to bring their defenders down.
Robinson had a really strong showing in the opening match against New Mexico for the Toros. A little bit quieter performance against San Diego Loyal, again, as Coach Cabrera was making some adjustments to that lineup and plugging guys in and out, but already making his presence known here early against San Antonio.
You mentioned New Mexico. They played their first home match in over 2 years last night. Got a victory over Austin Bold. So congrats to the United. And I love the name of their park, Isotopes Park, affectionately known as the Lab.
I'd love it.
So hope it was, I'm sure it was worth the wait for them. And interesting stat about the Toros. Of the 31 teams in the USL right now, the Toros are the only team that has not surrendered a goal yet.
Yeah, it's a spectacular start of the season for the Toros. You know, and as the season continues, you're going to see a lot coming from this defense. But to take just a half second to think about what it means to have a guy like Derek playing in goal for the Toros and playing those strong minutes, and then to be able to say that through two games, they're one of only 2 teams in the USL to not concede a goal. And if they can make it to the 68th minute here, they're going to have the current longest scoreless streak of any defense in the USL.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, and in fairness to them, got clean sheets in their first 2 matches. And then last night in their 3rd match against Phoenix Rising, they gave up a goal in the 68th minute. So their streak ended at about 247 minutes. So, yeah, if the Toros can get past 68 minutes tonight, like you said, they can take over that lead. Oh, there's a shot and a nice save there by Cordoni. Cordoni having to go to ground to keep that one out of the far post. It was Sorto who had the assist on the game winner last week who produced that one.
You're going to look right here. Sorto, a really nice job of just picking that one out of the air and getting a good, strong foot on it. But to your point, Cardone, right place, right time, able to just punch that one away. And here comes that next true fit corner for the Toros.
Cordoni with 3 saves already here, the 27th minute of the first half. And the 3rd corner of the match here for the Toros. This is Lopez, sent it into the high area of the box. Sorto, 1 touch, and it goes wide. Nice redirect by Sorto, but just wide of the net. And I think it went off a defender. It'll be another corner here.
3rd true fit corner for UTRGV here. I'm sorry, for RGV here in the opening going. 26 minutes in, so they're averaging about 1 every 10 minutes. That's not a bad number.
Lopez will come over to the right side to take the this corner kick. 5 players in the box for the Toros, an outswinger here, and it's headed out further by San Antonio. It's a good job by Varela, the new signee from Argentina, to head that out.
Shows that really strong experience.
San Antonio with a good chance here, going up against Dispe. This is Santino. And a big clearance there by the Toros.
That's a nice job by Robinson on the clearance there. There wasn't a whole lot that was going to go well if that ball stayed right there in the box. Gets that big leg on, is able to clear it way back into space, give his defense a chance to reset.
Yeah, Patino unable to get around Dispe and then unable to cross it either. The Toros getting out of danger on that one. And a chance here now on the left wing. Here it comes into the box, goes all the way through. Sanchez was trying to get on a foot onto that. It was just a bit late. It goes out. And now I think they're saying it's going to be San Antonio's throw in.
Yeah, the initial signal said it was going to belong to the Toros. And
yeah, I didn't. I was a little bit confused about that, but yeah, I didn't see any San Antonio players touch it. So the ball went all the way through the box.
And Coach Marcina throws his hands up. Cardone throws his hands up.
That universal sign of exasperation. But that's correct call now. Doyle throws it in. Toros try to get it right back, but it's going to be San Antonio throw in again. Or no, it's win off San Antonio. So Toros do win the possession back here in the 29th minute. Coach Cabrera, the first year of his second stint as head coach of the Toros. There's Varela dueling with Amo. Ball will go out. And this will be a goal kick for San Antonio FC. Amo there scored the game winner for the Toros in their season opener against New Mexico United, a 65th minute goal. Nice little, chested it down, was able to get a nice turnaround that fired into the net. And you can look at his kit there. You can see it's very hot out there. Had a lot of rain yesterday, so it's quite humid out there on the pitch.
You can see Amo and Gleedle really going after each other there in the corner, trying to maintain possession. You got to love that aspect of USL soccer. These guys are out here giving it their all, especially when you're talking about just the pace of play we've seen in this one. These two teams going back and forth at a quick rate.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to maintain that pace, especially San Antonio in the second half. Here he wins the ball from Amo. Will send it back to his keeper, Cardone. And this a little bit of it's kind of nice. You got a little bit of a budding rivalry between these two, don't we? Only about 220 miles apart.
Yeah, both coaching staffs said they really liked having such a close regional rival, not only in the same division, but in the USL here, because it gives you the ability to have some of that back and forth. You've got that common opponent. You've got guys that are in a similar area, have some of that grit kind of develop between you, and it's been a really good rivalry thus far.
And as we talk about the rivalry, Patino goes into the book with a caution. So we'll keep an eye on that. That could affect how many minutes he gets tonight.
And you see there, he just kind of undercut Eric Pimentel. Pimentel was coming up to try to get ahead. Patino gets right under him and kind of spins his hips out from under him. Anytime there's a player in the air, you've got to protect him. You can't let those players in the air be undercut, because that's how you can get some really serious neck injuries, shoulder injuries, because they're defenseless. They're flying through the air.
Diaz-Bay sends it forward. Manley, a one-touch downfield before it's kicked up by Varela. Be another throw in here for the Toros. Moving into the last 15 minutes of the first half. Toros have done the better job creating chances. San Antonio, a team that is relentless, always attacking. Gotta like their style. San Antonio averaging 2.5 goals a game coming in. This is Lindley taking the free kick here. The right side of the penalty area. It's going to go out of play. And I believe this is going to be a corner kick here for the San Antonio.
Wilson Cuello over to put this one in. I think that's going to be the first of our True Fit corners awarded to San Antonio thus far. We talked a moment ago about what a great kind of budding rivalry this is between the Toros and San Antonio. San Antonio's won their last 3 meetings and is unbeaten in their last 5 against RGV, going 3-0-2. In fact, a win here would be a major step for RGVs. They've only had 1 win in the last 10 against San Antonio, making them 5-4-1. Overall, San Antonio leads the series 6-5-5.
And Epps misses on the initial attempt. Second attempt is just wide. Hits the side netting. As Derek came out to try to punch that, but wasn't able to get full contact. And the ball stayed in the area, and Epps was able to have a kind of a half chance here. So we take another look at it.
Just lands right at his feet, and look at Epps. Kind of a half swing, didn't really get it. Second opportunity, and the play had actually broken down by that point before he could get that right foot on it. I like what we're seeing from Epps, though. He's not afraid to be attacking, find himself in the box. And in that time, there's a whole lot of guys kind of jumbled up down around Derek. He takes a couple steps back and puts himself in a really good spot to try to make something off that rebound.
Yeah, it was a good read of the play. Skuzane trying to make something happen here for the Toros. He'll send it over to the left side. Room there for Robinson. The ball knocked away and controlled now by Cuello. Sends it back to his keeper. And Cardone will send it all the way to the other end of the field, all the way back to the opposing keeper. That was a heck of a kick.
little keeper-to-keeper interaction there. I think that's the kind of keeper you're going to need if you're San Antonio. Cardone with that nice big boot. And that allows you to really put your defenders back, have your midfielders playing forward, have your forwards really racing down the field. Because when you've got a keeper that can power it that far, you don't have to really hang around and try to play something in midfield. You know that he's got the length and the distance to go ahead and press that offense.
I've seen him taking free kicks as well, so he must have a powerful leg if they can depend on him. Almost can be his own sweeper. And I think that's part of the San Antonio approach anyway, because like they say, San Antonio likes to take the Route 1 approach.
Okay, just come right down the middle.
And that's usually started by a keeper who can boot it down the field, as opposed to just distribute outside of his box. This goes back into Toros territory. That's Dispe from Havana, Cuba. Recovers the ball, gets it to Murphy. And now quickly the Toros switch it over to the left side. There's Murphy again, will come over to the right to Dispe. Sending it down for Manley. Manley with some space to work with will send it into the box, and then Amo was trying to slide into it to get a redirect. Unable to do that, but the ball's still in play here. And now Sanchez with it. Sanchez against the defender, almost split the defender, couldn't quite get past Doyle. But this will be another corner here for the Toros.
Right, True Fit Corner is becoming a home base for the Toros over the first 3 games. They've done a really nice job of applying pressure to the opponents. And you see, that's a great sliding tackle by their Kamiri, coming right in under the feet of Amo and forcing that one out. Had he been a half a step behind, Amo was going to be in a really good spot to make something happen.
Kamiri with a lot of action here early on. Lopez wanting to take the corner. Now the referee coming in as there's some jostling in there.
He's going to make them spread out a little bit here.
A couple of guys were...
like Pimentel and Lindley.
I guess they were asking each other's address for their Christmas card list or something, and the referee has a little talk with them.
And save that for after the game.
And notice most of the Toro players at the top of the box, probably expecting an outswinger here, and Lopez does that. Ball taking a couple of bounces, goes out to Sorto here at the top of the area, puts it on net, a punch by the keeper, Cardone, and then sent out of play by San Antonio.
Looked like Cardone and Doyle may have not been on the same page right there for just a moment. Cardone comes over the top of Doyle to punch that one out. I think Doyle thought that one was going to come just kind of lazily to him, and he was going to be able to head it away.
Yeah, I thought Cardone was going to be able to catch that. It didn't look like that hard. It was hit that hard, and yeah, you're right. I think Cardone then realized, oh my gosh, and then had to just make a lunge for the ball at the last instant. But San Antonio's defense holding firm. It's Manley trying to work something there, and then we have a foul near the end line, and this will be a free kick here for San Antonio. So that's 7 fouls already in this first half for the Toros. There have been 5 called on San Antonio. So the referee has been busy with his whistle.
True to form, Cardone is going to come all the way out here and put that big leg on it.
And if memory serves, last week's game between San Antonio and the Real Monarchs had a lot of whistles as well. The two teams combining for 39 fouls, 5 yellow cards, and 2 red cards.
Safe to say there was some emotion involved in what occurred.
Emotion, a lot of passion. And here's a shot sent down by Doyle into the area, and Derek forced to save it, although it looked like it was going wide.
That was a really smart play by Derek, because that play was developing. He took 5 or 6 steps forward like he was going to try to play that one right off the head. Saw that was probably not his best move, and he stepped back, allowed the attack to come to him. That shows the experience. Those experienced keepers, they're crafty. They can make things happen.
Doyle was trying to get it to Shandon Hopiau, the midfielder, who was trying to redirect it onto Derek's goal. It was really just got kind of a soft touch on it that was going wide of the net.
Doyle and John Henry Sanchez get wrapped up there for a second. And we're going to have a little bit of a conversation here with Doyle.
Doyle heavier than most of these players, 6'4", 198. As we mentioned, coming from a former Buckeye.
Get a look at it right here. He just kind of hip checks John Henry Sanchez. I don't think that was on purpose. Sanchez just made a real quick turn. You saw Doyle put his hands out right after.
Doyle outweighs Sanchez by almost 60 pounds. San Antonio kicks this one free. The Toros forced to send this all the way back to their back line, where it's played by Eric Pimentel. Pimentel, a player with a lot of experience from Mexico, 30 years old. Started his first game for the Toros last week.
Robinson gets that one in real quick for the Toros. You're seeing a little faster pace for the Toros than we've seen in the first two games.
Sanchez with the center ball. There goes to Sorto. Sorto, a shot blocked in front. And the ball goes out. Looks like it'll be a corner kick here for the Toros. The play began with Manley on the right side, who sent it forward into space for Sanchez to run onto. Sanchez with a great cross that went kind of a dummy by Amo. You'll see it here. Sanchez, Amo kind of let that go, a little dummy. So Sorto, it pulled the defender away from Sorto, but Sorto not able to get the shot off in time, and it was blocked in front.
Yeah, good job by Gleedle there in the front. Come across and apply some pressure there and cut the angle off so Sorto didn't just have a wide open blank look at the net.
Yeah, Gleedle's been really solid on that back line for San Antonio in the early part of this season. So we see a Toros player shaken up.
Rodrigo Lopez looked like he got his ankle kind of twisted as that contact came to him. He's back to his feet relatively quickly. Needed a second, catch a breather. You got to look at it right here again. Oh no, it looked like he got probably a knee right to the shin. That stings just a touch.
Chris Lema, the San Antonio midfielder who collided with him, went to Georgetown University. This is Amo right here for the Toros. 5 minutes left in the first half.
I have to wonder if some of this San Antonio pace might not have rubbed off on the Toros. We're seeing them be a lot more aggressive than we saw in the first two.
Yeah, they may have thought that, come in thinking that maybe the best defense tonight is a good offense. You know, let's not give San Antonio all these chances and opportunities and possessions. Let's try to do something with our opportunities, our possessions, and keep San Antonio on the ropes a little bit.
Yeah, force them to work out of the counter rather than just constantly being attacking against you.
This is Pimentel on the far side, kind of being chased by Cuello. Hard kick by Dispe. It's going to die for Manley. Oh, too heavy a touch. That'll go out of play. It'll be San Antonio ball.
And Manley just couldn't quite get there on time, and when he did finally get there, he ends up catching it off of his shin rather than his foot. It's much easier to control the ball if you can get it off your foot because you can absorb some of that shock and lay it down. Couldn't get his foot quite that high, so off of that shin, it just carried it away.
Manley able to get that throw in, so Toros with a quick chance here. This is Kuzain. No one marking him. He shoots. He scores! When Kuzain scores for the Toros in the 42nd minute, and it's the Toros taking the lead.
That's the first time the Toros have scored in the first half, and Kuzain just showing that youth and speed. That was a spectacular run for the Toros. Just a nice job. Splits two defenders. They come to collapse. He's able to squeeze that right through. But take a look right here, and then it's just him. He looks for the cross. Nobody attacks. He finds the angle. And a nice job using his left foot there to get just enough on it to wrap that around the arch-stretched hands of Cardone. And the Toros are loving it. Juan Kuzain, the Wonder Kid, stepping up huge.
Yeah, 22 years old. As we said, had spent most of his career discovered by Kansas City. I think was in their youth academy. And yet no one came over to mark him. I think he was trying to pull a defender initially to set up Amo. And when no one was there, he had an open shot, and he took it.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. That goal was wonderful. I mean, that was just amazing, the angle he took there. And when the defense didn't come to him, they were staying on Amo. He said, well, I'll take it.
So that makes the score 1-0.
There you go.
So late first half here, and yeah, what a great time for the Toros to get that goal. with the momentum going into the first half, although there's still enough time here for San Antonio to get one back. And they are a team that does like the lightning strike. So Kuzain, his first goal of the season, becomes the third different Toro to find the back of the net, along with Amo and Sanchez.
And you got to think about what a spectacular job that's going to do of making this Toros team really hard to game plan against. When you've got three guys that have all scored, who do you mark? Who do you put your focus on? You might have come into this one saying, well, keep an eye on Amo. Well, in that case, you did. You laid two guys back on Amo and gave Kuzain the angle. He got the goal.
Yeah, great finish by Kuzain, but he had to kind of make that decision really quickly. You could tell by his body language he wanted to cross initially. And had a fine finish to the far post. Attempt here in the 45th minute for San Antonio. They're going to send this into the area. Headed on by the Toros, and then Epps couldn't play it. And I think Manley able to clear it for the Toros. And now we've got a foul here as Kuzain was trying to get by Chris Lema. Lema grabs a hold of him and is going to go into the book as a result of it.
Yeah, and he earned that yellow card the hard way. Kuzain was going to have a head full of steam running away. There's not a whole lot Lema could have done other than just wrap Kuzain up, and you see it right there. I mean, he got one shoulder with his left hand, got his hip with his right hand.
So now a free kick here for the Toros. Going to add 2 minutes of extra time here in the first half, as Lopez is going to play this back to his keeper. The Toros will use the whole field here. See Patino coming close to Derek, forcing Derek to play it off to the left side near midfield. San Antonio getting possession, is able to send this forward. Patino running onto it before it's played into touch by Dispe.
This is a spot where if you're San Antonio, you've got to get moving here. You're down 1-0. There's still some time left on this clock. You've got about a minute and a half left here in the first half. You're in a really good spot deep in your own offensive third. Trying to get something going. Throw that in there. Let that speed that you've taken advantage of all season really come into play. Before they do that, though, we're going to have a quick conversation here. It's the officials talking to Lindley, Pimentel, Lopez, and Sorto.
Oh, and looks like he's signaling to his assistant referee, keep an eye on these two.
That's Lopez and Lindley.
That's a gesture you don't see in the official's manual, but he pointed to his eyes, like, look, and then pointed to the two guys, said, look at them, make sure no shenanigans are happening. Now we're going to have a corner kick here now for San Antonio. We've still got about 40 seconds to work with. They've got 5 in the box. They send it in. Keeper comes out, gets the punch. Headed on by a Toro player. Toro's trying to clear it, and finally do. Lito will send it back in, but it's deflected. The Toro's able to clear once again. And now we've got some words being exchanged once again.
That's Rodrigo, Lopez, and Lindley again. They got kind of mixed up. Good job by the referee here, moving Lindley away. He's going to beckon the trainers out to come take a look at Lopez, as Lopez is in some pain, laying there just outside of the box.
And Lopez, this is the second time he's been fouled.
That's Cuello. Cuello picks up a yellow now.
That's the third booking in this first half on San Antonio. Patino, Lema, and now Cuello in the book. And Lopez down for the second time in this first half.
Looks like they're taking a look at that right hip. There's been a lot of contact there between Cuello and Lopez over there. What, a couple moments before, what did the referee say? Keep an eye on these two. Coming right out of it. Check that right foot and ankle. It's a conversation between the referee and Cuello.
And I think he's going to blow the whistle for the first half. as they still continue to check Lopez on the field. So the teams will go to their locker room, and for the first time this season, the Toros have a halftime lead. And I believe for the first time this season, San Antonio is trailing after a 3-0 victory and a 2-2 draw last week. So an interesting development here at HEB Park. We're at the break. It's Rio Grande Valley 1, San Antonio FC nothing. We'll be back with some highlights, some stats, and some analysis and some news from around the USL when we come back. So you're watching USL Championship on ESPN+.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
When we said Reliant offers free flex days, we had something a little different in mind. Get the flexibility of free electricity on your 2 highest use days every week with the Reliant Truly Free Flex Days plan. That's up to 8 free days a month. So go on, what are you waiting for? We'll even upgrade your plan to solar on us. Reliant, that's power, your way.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. We got 3 chicken strips topped with Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese. The combination is just right.
It's crunchy and then it's spicy and then it's cool. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
It just all works together, and then you add the cheese in there.
It kind of wakes me up, honestly.
My goodness.
I could see myself getting this every time I come here.
They're gonna go crazy for this thing. The Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. That's back, and it's only for a limited time.
And welcome back to HEB Park here in Edinburgh, Texas. We're at the southern tip of Texas, about 10 miles north of the border with Mexico, about 65 miles from the ocean, the beautiful Gulf of Mexico. And right now at halftime, it's the Rio Grande Valley Toros with a 1-0 lead over San Antonio FC. And Brian, I think this is probably a halftime score I don't think a lot of people would have expected beforehand.
Oh, no, especially looking at the way that San Antonio has scored almost at will in the first half of matches to open the season, whereas the Toros have tended to be kind of methodical, slowly working against the defense. But you saw it here in the first half. San Antonio had some opportunities, sent a couple long balls, but it's been the Toros that were kind of the aggressor in the key moments. And you saw it there. Juan Cusain got that little bit of a slip pass right between the defenders and was able to put that goal in, give the Toros their first half lead of the season.
That was nice. And yeah, you talk about the Toros being the busier team. They outshot the San Antonio in the first half in terms of shots on goal. It's 4-1 in favor of the Toros, and one of those being a goal there by the 22-year-old Cusain, who looked like he was trying to set up Amo, who's the main striker for the Toros. 2 defenders went on him, as you noticed, Brian, and then Cusain did the right thing. He went and said, well, I'll take the finish here, and a great finish it was. Let's go down to our...
This is Jake Edwards, and you are listening to Steal Some Time.
First buy or sell of the day. Oscar Jimenez is a top 3 set piece specialist in the USL Championship. Scott, you buying or selling that?
Take all the money in my bank account. I think Oscar, I will buy that. And really, I would say that I would have bought that from like 2017, 2018 on.
Brought down one time, what a strike! Dion, he now has a brace. Quintanilla on the board. Into the back net, Dylan Mirris. Ketterer sends it out. And a goal there by
El Paso.
And we're back now. 1-0 the score. The Toros in front of San Antonio FC. Let's take a look from around the United Soccer League Championship. Some news and notes here. Team of the week and our player of the week we've got coming up here at HEB Park. The backup players for San Antonio warming up behind the in line.
The Team of the Week just announced a few days ago. The USL Championship announced the Team of the Week presented by Clear Audio for Week 3. Player of the Week in this one was FC Tulsa's Joaquin Rivas, after scoring twice to lead his side past Indy 11 for their third consecutive victory to start the campaign. Rivas, the El Salvadoran international, having a great start to his USL Championship season. There's the rest of your Team of the Week. Tyler Derrick of the Toros made that first team. Looking at a little bit further, Marcus Epps for San Antonio FC on that team, along with Josh Drake, Cisco, Lasso, Borges, Bance, Bone, Asante, and then the forward, Dos Santos.
Yeah, Dos Santos scoring the winning goal for the Rowdies last night in that big win over Phoenix Rising, which was kind of the de facto championship. Those are the two teams that would have met for the title last year, but it was canceled due to COVID. They called it unfinished business, and last night it was the Rowdies with the 2-1 win. So here's our upcoming schedule. Looking at the Toros, after tonight, this is their third straight home match. They go on the road for 3 matches at El Paso on the 22nd. Then the return match with San Antonio, that'll be in the Alamo City on the 29th. And then they go out to Florida to play the Miami FC on June the 6th. They'll return home on June 12th to take on the Real Monarchs. Then June 16th, they've got Austin Bold, a team that lost their opener last night to New Mexico United. And then taking a look at San Antonio FC and their upcoming schedule. Say FC's got Birmingham Legion coming up on the 22nd, and then on the 29th, they'll be at home against Rio Grande Valley Toros, the second of 4 meetings this year. They've got Colorado Springs, which had a new signee today from the Colorado Rapids on June the 5th. The Las Vegas Lights come to town on the 11th, and then they've got New Mexico United, a division rival, on June 16th. So let's take a break now. We're at halftime, and it's the Toros on top of San Antonio FC, 1-0. You're watching USL Championship on ESPN+.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
When we said Reliant offers free flex days, we had something a little different in mind. Get the flexibility of free electricity on your 2 highest use days every week with the Reliant Truly Free Flex Days plan. That's up to 8 free days a month. So go on. What are you waiting for? We'll even upgrade your plan to solar. On us. Reliant. That's power. Your way.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. We got 3 chicken strips topped with Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese. The combination is just right.
It's crunchy, and then it's spicy, and then it's cool. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
It just all works together, and then you add the cheese in there.
It kind of wakes me up, honestly.
My goodness.
I can see myself eating this every time I come here.
They're gonna go crazy for this thing. The Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. It's back, and it's only for a limited time.
And we're back here. Here's some of the highlights of the first half. Take us through it, Brian.
Yeah, there's a Kuzain really trying to get mixed in early here, and you see him coming down. John Henry Sanchez had a really good look at that one, but a nice job by Cardone coming out and cutting that off. Here's a look at that long attack that San Antonio is so famous for, but Derek, full extension, able to keep that one out of the way. San Antonio attacking once again. That was very early in the first half there as they were trying to get some of those early attacks moving forward. Derek has come up big the entire first half. Nice little cross here for San Antonio. And this was a real controversial play, having right on the line. Derek comes up, but Patino was right on his back. Sorto had a really nice opportunity here. Cardone, great first half. He's come up huge. Sorto again trying to feed something in. Cardone knocking that one away. And there's some good clear clearance. Look at San Antonio trying to make something happen in the box. Robinson did a really nice job of cutting the angle off here. And here is the goal of the game thus far. Juan Kuzain splits two defenders, is able to find the angle to give us our lone goal of this one that put the Toros up 1-0.
Yeah, Juan Kuzain, his first goal as a Toro. Kisses the ground and in appreciation of getting the goal here early. So we take a look at the halftime stats, and the Toros have an exciting advantage in some of these stats here. For instance, total shots 9-4, and then shots on target 5-1.
And then you talk about block shots here. I think that's a really interesting fact to look at, because when you look at San Antonio not being a defensively minded team, but they've been able to block 3 of the Toros' shots. So that's defenders coming in and mixing themselves in the mix, keeping it away from the keeper. And then as we talk about, I love time possession, Mark. You know that. And the time possession favoring the Toros again in this one, as they've had the ball about 73% of the time. And that's something you were going to expect to see, because San Antonio, as they've said, they're not a team that's all about possession. They're not going to pass it back and forth.
They're kind of a boomer bust.
They're going.
Kind of team.
And so 23% of the time, they've had the ball kind of at their feet, moving around. But the Toros doing a nice job of ball control. And that's probably what led to that goal by Juan Kuzain. They were able to kind of pick the defense apart, moving it back and forth.
And we take a look at the Mountain Division standings. The top 2 teams meeting tonight at the top of the group. Rio Grande Valley 2-0 and San Antonio FC with a win, a draw, no losses for them. Then New Mexico United, thanks to their victory over Austin last night, moves into 3rd place right now. Colorado Springs is at 3 points, kind of looming on the horizon. El Paso Locomotive, the next opponent for the Toros, still struggling a bit. The Real Monarchs kind of slow out the blocks. They were champions just 2 years ago. And then Austin Bold, a new team, is still on 0 points. But both of them have been 1 goal. Well, actually, their one game was a 2-goal loss. That was to Mexico United last night.
So the Mountain Division starting to kind of take some form here very early on. And I think if you asked anybody coming into the season what Wilmer Cabrera could bring to this team, they would say confidence. They would say a really strong image of who you are and what you need to be successful. And through 2.5 games now, put a check bar next to that. Coach Cabrera has really breathed some life
and
into
it
this
seems
program.
like the players are buying into it as well. You don't see anybody doing their own thing, so to speak. A lot of great teamwork out there for the Toros, and yeah, it may not be spectacular. It's just 3 goals in 3 games right now, or 2.5 games, but they are getting the job done on both ends.
And you don't have to score 100 goals a game to be successful. Those 1-0 games count just the same, and that's what you're seeing here with the Toros and Coach Cabrera. And what I really like is his kind of understated method of coaching from the sideline. You don't see him as a guy that's really getting too activated. He's not pulling guys over to him. He's not calling guys over to give them kind of on-the-field training, because he doesn't have to. He's doing that pregame during the week. He's building them up. He's getting them into a system that's going to be successful, and you're seeing it here. They're playing the system that's being given to them, 3 different schematics coming into the season for all 3 games, but they're finding success.
Yeah, and you've got some field generals out there on the field as well, like Rodrigo Lopez, Vicente Sanchez, Eric Pimentel. Those guys have been through the wars, and they know how to guide the younger players through these things. Another stat that jumps out at me, Brian, of the Toros' 9 shots in the first half, 8 came from inside the box. These are quality shots here. We're not just talking about booming it from just inside your own half and trying to build up the stats. 6-2 in corners taken favors the Toros. Duels won pretty even, 24 apiece there. So it has been hard fought, a little bit of a chippy game. We've seen some cautions out there. And this was interesting also. And this has more to do with the philosophies of the 2 teams, but the Toros, 80% passing accuracy in the first half. For San Antonio, 48%. But again, that speaks to the way they play the game, the long passing.
We've got our first substitution of this one to start the second half. San Antonio FC is going to have Jose Gallegos, midfielder, 5'6", 160-pounder, is going to start here in the second. Go opening.
This is the third time Lopez has been down on the turf. We saw it at the very end of the first half. And this appears to be that's Lopez there who's able to
That's a really good
recover.
clearance,
Yeah.
too.
Robinson, sliding tackle attempt there by Lindley. Toros able to fight through that. Now have it on the right side. This is Sanchez.
That's a great job of flipping the field for the Toros as well. That defense was kind of corralling you into that corner. If you flip the field, you're forcing them to go back out and challenge that other side. That'll buy you some really good opportunities.
Now they're going to flip it back the other way. This is Pimentel with it. Pimentel has played on 2 Mexican League champions with Club America. Sends it into the middle. And then DSPA will send it forward. And Amo with a great flick on there. And this is Kuzain coming off on top of it. Cardone has to come way out to play that one. This will be Toros' ball.
That's a good throw-in spot for the Toros here.
Toros generating a chance thanks to some aggressive play. Manley's going to send this forward for Sanchez. And then has his pocket picked by Doyle.
Looks like they'll say that was off of John Henry Sanchez, so the Toros.
And then Dispe kind of has it, kind of shanks it a little bit there. San Antonio will move up to midfield for another throw-in. It's Cuello with it. Cuello with 1 goal this season for San Antonio. Loses control of it. And now the Toros have it back. 56 minutes complete. And the Toros on top, 1-0. Juan Kuzain with the goal back in the 42nd minute. And so far, the Toros defense has held San Antonio to just 1 shot on net in this game. Derek has been busy, but hasn't really had to come up with the big save for the Toros. Back to Pimentel. And Diaz-Bay on the right side. Slips as he passes it forward. This is Murphy. Murphy will go to the left wing. Here's Sorto. Sorto's had a couple good shots in this game. Has a look here. Shoots and scores! Are you kidding me? Sorto just lined up, took the shot, netted it to the far post. And Christian Sorto has his first goal of the year, and the Toros, their first double-goal game.
And, you know, the team loves it. Take a look at that. The home fans go rowdy. This has been a spectacular performance offensively for the Toros. We're seeing a whole different level to this offense. Look at this. Christian Sorto just picks the defender away. Gets Glito just kind of on his skates for a minute. He's sliding backwards, trying to get his feet under him. And the parts of that, Cardone just trying to figure out where that attack's going to come from before he can make a commitment to which side he's going to. Sorto sends that one into the corner. What a spectacular job of attacking. That's 2 really good goals for the Toros in this one, strictly because they're attacking, they're being aggressive, and they're forcing the defense to respond to them rather than allowing their attack to be affected by what the defense is trying to set.
And I imagine Cardone can't be too happy with his defense. Both goals came in instances where nobody struck forward or moved forward to mark the shooter.
Everybody was just playing back. 2 straight goals where it looked like the defenders were playing back and waiting for something to happen in front of them. And Cardone just gets left hung out to dry for a moment.
Yeah, Sorto, who's had a couple of good looks earlier in this game, that was his 3rd shot, actually. So it's not like you wouldn't expect this guy to take a shot or anything like that. And now we've got a Toro player down. This looks like Kuzain, who scored the first goal for the Toros. And the foul's going to be on the sub who just came onto the pitch, Ollie Wright, midfielder from St. Mary's.
He gets his feet just kind of tied up there with Kuzain.
Wright, by the way, coming onto the pitch in place of midfielder Cam Lindley. And Lindley's been taking some of their free kicks, so it'll be interesting to see who takes some of their free kicks in the midfield area for San Antonio. As we see Sorto, the goal scorer, trying to make something happen on the left side. Glito dispossessed him.
Tried to clear that one away. Unfortunately for him, Marcus Epps was standing right there, so Epps takes that right off the chest and it goes out. Good throw-in spot now for Robinson and the Toros.
Robinson trying to get it into Sorto, dispossessed by Glito once again, but his crossfield pass taken by Manley. The Toros with a chance here. To Amo with a 1 touch to the right side to Henry Sanchez. And now he and Manley work a given goal. Manley trying to work his way in is knocked down. There's no foul called and the ball played out of bounds and it'll be a Toro throw-in. Manley may feel he was fouled there.
Looks like he's going to need a second to get his wits about him, to kind of stretch that left angle out. Doyle Not a bad sliding tackle there by Doyle. Does a nice job of going after the ball, not the player.
Yeah, Doyle is a physical player. No doubt about it. Not dirty by any means. Yeah, like you said, but he's a good, hard, physical player. And Manley will lob it in. Quickly goes out off of Toro, actually, so this will be San Antonio ball.
Worth mentioning again, the Toros can get through the 68th minute without conceding a goal. They'll have the longest streak in the USL this season, not the 60th minute.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. And Derek has only had to make one save so far in this game for the Toros, whose defense has just been excellent. You know, I have to wonder a little bit about San Antonio's offense. We know they like to push it forward, they like to score, but they were missing a key player tonight in Nathan.
Yeah, and Nathan, before picking up that red card, was kind of the heart and soul of that attack they had last time out, and it really kind of took some of the wind out of their sails. But something Coach Marcina talked about was he loved the way his team continued to fight. Down a man, didn't let that be an excuse to just give a win away. They were up 2 goals, and they fought for a full 90 minutes.
We saw John Henry Sanchez with an attempt at the San Antonio goal a moment ago, and a save by Cardona. Gave up a rebound, but was able to pounce on it before the Toros could. Toros moving forward again here. And now we've got a foul called as Kamiri ends up on the turf. I think Amo is going to be called for the foul here. This will be the 12th foul on the Toros. There have been 9 called on San Antonio.
Kamiri quickly tried to just kind of throw that one forward a little bit before the referee called that one back into play. A little bit of frustration with Kamiri. You saw it there. He kind of hit the turf really hard after he had gone down.
It's been a physical game out there. Not dirty by any means, but it has been physical. Robinson plays it forward for the Toros. Too far for Amo, and Varela is on top of it here for San Antonio. Work it back to his keeper, Cardone. Cardone, by the way, by my count, has 5 saves in this game. But there have been a lot of shots generated by the Toros tonight. A lot of them in dangerous positions. We saw quite a few have come from within the box. Although I think that goal may have been just outside the area. The one by Santos. Or Sorto, excuse me.
Again, a good look at what San Antonio does best. Trying to send that one a little bit deep, but got a little too much mustard on that as it carried a little further than they wanted to. Gleedle tried to run it down, but unable to do so. So that'll give Tyler Derrick a chance to kind of reset the pace here. So he'll get a goal kick and an opportunity to stretch this defense out just a little.
You know, we haven't seen a sub by the Toros yet. What do you think Coach Cabrera might be thinking now? Do I let well enough alone and continue to attack, or do I want to make a couple of defensive subs here?
That's exactly what I was thinking. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And right now, it's not broke. It is working in spades for the Toros. In fact, I don't think we've even seen anyone really up doing more than just stretching. A couple of guys just kind of stretching those hips out right now. This is the point in the prior 2 matches where you saw a couple of those Toros reserves kind of running up and down the sideline, getting those legs fresh.
Players often do that because you never know when you might have to come in. Somebody might get hurt on the pitch. The free kick down to the top of the box. Toros had that clear. So Sorto got a little piece of that. Now here's Manley with a chance. Trying to play it to Sanchez. And the ball will go out of play. It's going to be a throw in for the Toros.
It's a good job by Manley of playing that ball off of the defender. Keep possession in favor of the home squad.
You know, he's working one-on-one with Patino over there. And, you know, we haven't called Patino's name very much in this game either. He's tried to be active, but he hasn't really had a dangerous opportunity.
I think it's a matter of kind of getting mixed into this San Antonio offense, finding his place on the pitch, who can get passes into him if they can put him in the right spot.
Manley with some space to work with. Slide it over to Sanchez. Sanchez has had a pretty good game in his first appearance for the Toros. Goes all the way back to Derrick. Pimentel will send it forward. Now here it is for Robinson coming up from his left back position. Taking advantage of some space there. Epps coming over to mark him. And now we're going to have a free kick awarded to San Antonio.
And Robinson, as he got kind of bumped off the ball, he spins around and gets a little too aggressive trying to round that corner and get back into it. Epps doing a really nice job of not only getting possession there, but using his hips to kind of clear Robinson out of the way and using that as a little bit of a shield there, forcing Robinson to make the long turnaround.
Kamiri plays it a long ball forward. Chance here for San Antonio. Played up in the air by Pimentel. And will go out of play. And this will be a corner kick. Excuse me, Diaz-Pay was the one who played it there for the Toros.
It's been a while since San Antonio found themselves over in the true fit corner. We'll get a nice opportunity here. Squayo's going to take this kick. They played shallow last time. Wright's, of course, playing tight here in case they do that again.
This is the third corner of the game for San Antonio. Derek comes out, gets a weak punch, still loose in the area, and a shot there by Wright. It's going to go way over the bar, kind of an off-balance shot.
That was a good job getting back by Derek. I don't know if you saw it in that camera angle quite as dynamically as it was, but he made that punch, went to the ground, and immediately raced back because he had to get back. He didn't get enough on that to really clear it away. Never want to find yourself laying on the pitch when there's a rebound coming back your direction.
Here running onto it is Amo. Amo marked by Kamiri. Played over to Kuzane. And works its way all the way back to Murphy. And now looks like Diaz-Pay will send it to the left side. Kind of a switchback here for the Toros, although kind of a misplayed there, so they have to play it back. Sorto has a goal in this game. Fighting there with Gleedle. And they're going to call a whistle here, and Gleedle will have a free kick.
That's another great example of San Antonio doing a nice job of not only gaining possession, but then using their body and their hips to be a shield between the UTR or the Toros player and themselves, and forcing the Toro to come all the way around that hip to get to it, and they're drawing fouls that way. Very, very heads-up maneuver.
Yeah, there have been 15 fouls called on the Toros in this game. Most of them, I think, in the San Antonio end of the field. So they haven't really given up free kicks in dangerous positions. And here's a corner kick, one here by San Antonio. As Gleedle played it off a Toros player. And this will be the fourth corner now for San Antonio FC.
That's about all Gleedle could do there. He had Pimentel and Robinson right on top of him, and he bounces that off the blue kits. Keep possession in favor of his team.
A little bit of an in-swinger, the header there, and another touch. It goes off the post, and now a goal. Patino able to put it home in the 68th minute. And it's a 2-1 game now. The Toros in front, and this was a aggressive play, a never-say-die attitude there for San Antonio. 3 different players touching the ball, or 4 if you count the kicker. And Patino has his 4th goal of the season.
That's the way the ball bounces. I think Derek was in a good position to play that, but before it gets to him, Murphy gets a knee on it to clear it away. And unfortunately for Murphy, rather than getting that off the inside of his knee where he can clear it away, he ends up getting it off the top. It bounces up, hits that crossbar, but Derek was already in the air kind of falling away. So because of that, Derek's out of that play. And as
He
soon
was
as
kind of committed, to that initial save. And, when it went off the post to Patino, he had an open net, then he roofed it. And I mentioned that it coming in the 68th minute. That means they equal the Tampa Bay Rowdies start of 247 shutout minutes to start the season. And had they been able to hold on another 30 seconds, they would have had that nice little milestone. This is Diaz-Pay. He's going to come off the field.
He was a little shaken up after that goal, so they'll send him off for just a moment. Get some water.
Yeah, Toro's playing with 10 right now. So they still haven't used their first sub of the game. And San Antonio still with plenty of time, more than 20 minutes to work with here to try to even things up.
That was a great scoring opportunity for San Antonio. And that's what you see, especially here in the USL when you've got such top quality levels of soccer. just those slightest little miscommunications like you saw between Murphy and Derek there is really all it takes sometimes to get that goal.
Just the second shot on goal San Antonio's been able to generate, but what counts is how many find the back of the net, and they've got one right now, just one goal down. Still more than 20 minutes to play. Toros with it. This is Robinson. Robinson, the cross into the box, is kicked out by San Antonio. That was Kamiri, the Tunisian, able to get a foot on that. Send it all the way up the field. And now the San Antonio has won a free kick. Foul by Pimentel.
Yep, trying to make the argument that Pimentel purposefully took the player out. I don't see it here. So he's got Pimentel and Patino just kind of mixed up there. I don't think there was any intent there to trip him up. Their feet just get kind of crossed up.
And we're going to have another sub here by San Antonio. And this surprises me a little bit. Epps, one of their goal scorers, is coming off the pitch.
They're going to replace him with Bernal.
Yeah, Fabricio Bernal.
5'10", 173-pound forward.
He's a player from their academy, very young.
And that's adding another attacker because Epps was kind of that forward-playing midfielder. Bernal is a forward. So get another attacker out there and try to get this offense sparked for an equalizer.
Yeah, Bernal just 17 years old, coming onto the pitch, youngest player on either team. We'll take another look at this collision at midfield. Robinson upended by Cuello.
I'm trying to make the argument that there may have been a worthy penalty there. Referee sees it a little bit differently. There's definitely a foul there, but not really any intent other than just a nice, hard physical play.
Yeah, I think the referees will look at they'll look at how hard the foul is or how dangerous it was to another player. And if they don't see that, if they don't see that sense of danger, then they usually keep the card in their pocket. Long pass intended for Sanchez will go out, and Doyle will have a throw in for San Antonio.
Been really impressed with Doyle defensively in this one. Nice, real physical backline defender doing a really nice job of applying pressure, remaining physical, but there's a line there, and he knows where that line is. Stays very safely on this side of it.
So a lot of interesting things here tonight. The San Antonio playing from behind for the first time this season. The Toros scoring 2 goals in a game for the first time, and the Toros having their shutout streak ended after a nice run of 247 minutes.
And scoring in the first half for the first time this season.
Yes. Now here's another sub coming on, Cerritos. And Cerritos has been a starter the first 2 games. Coach Cabrera looks like he wants to bring him in off the bench for this one. Cerritos, a El Salvadorian international. His father was also played for the El Salvadorian national team. Father played in MLS as well. Seemed manly to throw it in here for the Toros. And again, it'll be a Toros throw in. Lopez playing it forward, then headed on by Amo. This is Sanchez with it. He goes down in a heap. They play on. And San Antonio with a chance here. 3 against 4. Nice through ball over here to the goal scorer who sends it across. That was Patino. San Antonio still with possession. Comes into the area, then a nice header there by Robinson. Kamiri came forward to head that one forward for San Antonio, and another collision with Amo. Those two have exchanged some bruises here tonight. And now we've got a whistle. This will be a free kick for San Antonio, and there might be a booking here. Robinson may have said something.
Yeah, they're going to get a card for Robinson. Robinson thought he had a foul, made his frustration known. The referee says, control it. No need for that. You'll see a look right here. Robinson trying to drive forward. Ends up getting his foot just kind of wrapped up there for a second with Bernal. Lets his frustration spill over for just a moment.
Looks like it might be a couple of heavy hitters coming in for the Toros, Cerritos and Sanchez, both of whom like to go forward, like to create.
Look at Cardone racing back out again, trying to get this offense going the other way. And San Antonio had kind of fallen into a lull for a moment after going down 2-0, but that goal by Patino really seems to have bred some life into this offense.
This ball chested out of play. That was Pimentel. So San Antonio wins it here. I think we're going to see the subs come on. It'll be Cerritos and a crowd favorite, Vicente Sanchez.
Cerritos is going to replace Juan Cusain. Cusain got that opening goal for the Toros. And then Vicente Sanchez is going to come in. He'll replace John Henry Sanchez, so Sanchez for Sanchez.
Now this is kind of interesting because the Toros have the 1-goal lead here. Last 15 minutes, you know, conventional wisdom is you make some defensive subs, but these are a couple of offensive guys coming in.
And I think if you're Coach Cabrera, you're saying our offense has been working really good today. Let's not change what's working for us. And to his point, Vicente Sanchez is a really experienced, heady player, and I think you can put some trust in him to play midfield forward, and if he has to play further back in the midfield if that's what the play calls for.
Yeah, he's a smart player, won't take any unnecessary chances. Has played for the Uruguayan national team, has 31 caps with them. Played in a couple of Copa Americas, has played for a Copa Libertadores champion for his club team in Uruguay. And very experienced players. We mentioned 41 years old. Oldest player in the history of the USL to ever score a goal. That was just last week. Bay with an excellent sliding tackle there. Wright gets on it here for San Antonio. Tries a little nutmeg there, doesn't work. Lopez on it. They'll send it up. Trying to get it to Amo. Amo with Varela on him. And Varela holding, and now the official calls that. But you can see that hold from 500 feet away.
Toros right back to action, not taking a second to get a breather here.
Lopez with a quick restart to the opposite side of the field. And now we see the yellow card come out again, and this is going to be on the Tunisian defender, Kamiri.
Kamiri coming in just a little too aggressive there, trying to apply some pressure. And that's on Cerritos, who had just come into this match. Get another look right here. Robinson's going to send this one forward, trying to find Cerritos in a good spot, and Kamiri just, takes that left leg and buckles it right under him.
Yeah, Kamiri, a big, aggressive player. He's 6'4", 190. Not afraid of physical contact. And yes, Cerritos, who just came onto the pitch, here's okay now, heads downfield. This looks like Pimentel or Lopez will take it, and Lopez is going to send it back to his keeper. Derek sends it forward. And a little too far for Robinson, though.
And Robinson tried to make a break on that, and had he been able to get to that, that was going to be a really good spot to build the counterattack. As Derek just put that in a really nice spot moving the other way.
Lito with the throw in. And Fabrizio Bernal trying to work it past Lopez. And there's going to be a free kick awarded here to San Antonio. So that's 17 fouls on the Toros, 13 on San Antonio. So they've combined for 30 fouls in this game. And we've seen 5 players cautioned, 4 of them from San Antonio. This played by Cuello, then headed on by San Antonio. Still kind of a header volleyball right now. Wright plays it forward, and this will go back to the keeper. He's just going to wait, draw somebody in, and then he'll pick it up.
That's a really good job there by Derek, forcing Cuello to come out and make him pick that ball up. Otherwise content to bleed a little bit of clock there at his feet.
Lopez plays it forward to Robinson, going up against Cuello. Now finds Amo. Amo sends it to the left to Sorto. Back into Cerritos, who just came on. Lopez goes forward. And now we've got another whistle. It'll be San Antonio's free kick once again.
Again, Lopez getting a little bit of admonishment from the referee. 2 times down, a foul's been called, and the ball was at Lopez's feet, and he just kind of continues down the pitch with it for just a moment. Referee says no more.
Gleedle trying to, nice little poke there by Gleedle into open space, trying to work his way into the area, but Robinson is there first to clear it up ahead. San Antonio will have to head it back to Cardone now. 81st minute. Toros took a 1-0 halftime lead, extended the lead to 2 in the second half, but the San Antonio FC has gotten one back.
I like the real smart play here by the Toros as well, not really stepping up to challenge Cardone. If he wants to play it at his feet and hang back there, they'll let him do it.
Yeah, time is on the side of the Toros right now. And here's a free kick going to be awarded to San Antonio as Amo and Kamiri tangle up once again. Toros had goals from Kuzain in the 42nd, Sorto in the 57th minute. And then Patino got his 4th goal of the season in the 68th minute. We've got about 8 minutes and change left here for San Antonio to either equalize or for the Toros to put it away. This is Doyle going after this one. Doyle unable to. Leo Torres, the 5'7" midfielder. Oh, they're going to take Doyle out.
That may be a knee-jerk reaction to the stoppage because Doyle was having like an issue with